classified the chordate in detail. Now in part 2, I'll be classifying the whole kingdom Animalia based on different criteria. So the first criteria as cellular organization. Based on cellular organization, we can classify the kingdom Animalia into two, protozoa and metazoa. Protozoa mean all the unicellular organism and metazoa mean all the multicellular organism. The metazoa is further divided into parazoa and eumetazoa. Okay, so parazoa are the animal which are simple multicellular organism. Okay, and their body cells are not organized into tissues and organs. And an example is porifera. These are the simple multicellular organism, and that's why it is called parazoa. Similarly, eumetazoa are the complex multicellular organism, or we can say it is the true multicellular organism. Right from cylindrate to chordate all come under this category. They are all eumetazoa. Okay. Now, classification based on the body symmetry. So based on body symmetry, we can classify the kingdom Animalia into radiata and bilata. Okay. So radiata means in which the body of a particular organism can be divided into equal halves from more than one plane or point or whatever. Okay. For example, if you can divide it this way, you can divide it this way, or this way, or this way, into equal halves. So this is the radiata. An example are Cylindrata, Ctenophora, and echinoderms, but there is exception in echinoderms. The larva is bilateral symmetrical and the adult is radial symmetrical. This is the most important exception which is often asked in the exams. So echinoderms larva is bilateral symmetrical and its adult is radial symmetrical. Now coming toward the bilateria or bilateral symmetrical animals, it means that these animal can be divided into equal halves from a one single point. So such animals are called bilateral bilateria, and the symmetry is called bilateral symmetry. So right from plate elements to chordate all include in bilateria. Moving forward, we have these concepts also, deuterostome and protostome. Okay, now see how I can make links here. Deuterostome are those animals in which the anus develop first from the embryo blastophores. Okay, in embryo blastophore, the anus form first. Okay, and mouth form later. Such animal is called deuterostome. Okay, all deuterostome animal will have radial cleavage. Okay, it is about how zygote divides. Okay, study it in detail, and it has these are anterocellus. I'll discuss this later in a separate video. Schizocellus and anterocellus, how cavity form. It form based on different from different cells of endoderms and mesoderms. So we will discuss it later in detail. But all deuterostome will have radial cleavage and they are anterocellus. Example include echinoderm, hemichordate, and chordates. Similarly, in protostome, proto mean first and stome mean mouth. So from the ambrose blastophore, the mouth develop first and later anus develop. So such animal in which the mouth develop first from the embryos blastophore, we call it the protostome. It always have a spiral cleavage, and these are schizocellus. Okay, examples include Annelida, mollusk, and arthropods. Now, the last and the most important, which is the classification of kingdom Animalia based on whether they molt or not. Okay, so we divide it into two, which is Lophotrochozoa and Ecdysozoa. and Lophotrochozoa are those animals which do not molt. They do not molt. Okay, and Ecdysozoa are the organism which molts. Okay, and Lophotrochozoan we have annelid, mollusk, platyhelminths, and other. And Ecdysozoa we have arthropod, nematode. Okay, these two are Ecdysozoa, and arthropod ecdysis is the most important topic. Uh, it is the frequently asked question, and CSS and PMS, if someone have opted zoology as an optional subject. Now you learn different criteria. Okay. Now these apply these criteria into different phyla. Okay, different phyla. For example, if you are talking about the Coelenterate, or we also call it Nigeria. Okay, so start from whether it is vertebrate or invertebrate. Okay, then you have classification based on symmetry. Okay, what type of symmetry it possesses, and then you have whether it is coelomate or acoelomate or pseudocoelomate. Then you have whether it molt or not. Okay, and similarly whether it is schizocilus or enterocilus or uh, whether it is tissue level organization or advanced level of organization. So you have all different criteria, and I have already discussed them with examples. So you can write 5 to 6 or 7 to 8 characteristic of any phylum you tag. Okay, and this way you can easily understand the diversity 1 and 2. Okay, now also study the form and function chapters of the Miller Hornet, because uh, I have already told this in my previous video. If you are studying any system, you are studying it comparatively. So you will know the different structures for the digestion, for the respiration, for all the reproduction and all other processes of a particular phylum. And you also remember the most of the notable examples of that phylum. So easily you can study the diversity 1 and 2, which are the most important and yet the most difficult portion of zoology. So best wishes